Now then, what else besides a smell can go both in and out of an open bar window? The answer is sound. So no matter how careful the killer was, if the windows are open, the jig would be up. And since the windows were in both defendant lobby 1 and the hallway were open, it explains how the sound of a gunshot could be heard in both locations. The missing piece of evidence is a video that shows the moment in which Mr. Rell killed the embassy staff member. The sound of the gunshot left quite an impression on me when it was played during the trial. The video should have been returned to Mr. Faraday's evidence bag for the recess and brought back here. If it disappeared after that time, it's possible the tape is still here in this room. Eureka! The evidence in the missing evidence. The evidence that the missing evidence created for me is the gunshot sound that no one should have been able to hear in the first place.
Miles, what are you thinking about? Stop wasting time thinking and let's start looking again.
It's not a waste of time to think, for I figured out where we should look.
And where would that be?
I believe we should examine the television. TV? Well, you kids have fun. Go ahead and examine whatever you like. There's a VHS player right there. It's a video player. There seems to be a tape inside.
Looks like it. The tape must have stopped on its own when it reached the end.
This tape, could it not be the missing surveillance tape?
I suppose, but...
Detective Bird, would it be alright with you if I verified the contents of this video? Sure, knock yourself out.
Alright, let's rewind this and see what we have.
If I remember correctly, the footage of Rell killing the embassy staff member should be about the 30-minute mark from the start of the tape. Understood. This should be about right. Now let's see.
This is the footage of Mr. Rell shooting the embassy staff member.
I knew it. The missing piece of evidence, the surveillance video, was here all along. This sound. What's the meaning of this? Appears Detective Baird has figured out the true source of the gunshot he heard. Oh. Oh dear. Oh. Excuse me, I'm sorry. With this, I think we can figure out the trick behind this double murder.
You mean you figured it all out, then?
Yes. All I have to do now is show what the gunshot detectives Bad and Gumshoe heard was, and flew where they heard it from.
Fine, in that case, you show me what you have to dust.
Now to show what the gunshot detectives Bad and Gumshoe heard was, and flew where they heard it from. Just with the spilled perfume in lobby number 1, if the windows are open, that piece of evidence's sound would also dissipate out. Now to show what the gunshot detectives Bad and Gumshoe heard was.
So someone has to video on plays the whole time, huh?
I suppose so. Other than the killing, there's hardly a sound on the rest of the tape.
Why the television makes that loud noise when Scuffy got near it?
Probably because the tape had run out and stopped its playback.
Not just bad luck, the detective has the worst timing in the world too.
Someone purposely left this tape on play. The question is why. Earlier, when Gumshoe touched this, it made the most terrible racket.
Where is Scuffy turned the TV on, right?
Actually, come to think of it, I don't think Gumshoe actually touched the television at all. Furthermore, it seemed more like when a video feed suddenly stops. At least it did to me.
I wonder why that is.
What they heard and where from, so it should be this, right?
Eureka!
Mm-hmm. If the door and windows to the crime scene, namely this room that we're in, were closed, the killer could have used the gun and no one would have been the wiser.
That's true. The courthouse does seem to be very designed for such a thing, as it were.
However, what happened in reality was Detective Gumshoe, Detective Bad, and Ms. Yu, all three of them heard the gunshot.
Well, the windows in lobby 1 and 2 was in the hallway were open, so naturally the people in those locations could hear it.
But then why would the criminal open the window in the first place?
To allow the gunshot to be heard, I suppose.
Correct. That's the only logical conclusion we can draw from this.
But why was that necessary in the first place? I want to really answer, Miles. I demand satisfaction.
Very well. I believe the killer wanted to manipulate our perception of a certain fact. What was it the killer wanted to manipulate our perception of when the crime took place? The killer wanted to fabricate the time of death to their precise wishes, and they used the gunshot in the surveillance video to do so.
So that's why the tape was left running.
You mean the gunshot I heard was from the video? Yes, which means the murders really occurred an earlier time than we thought. It must have been during the recess before Detective Gumshoe was on duty. Someone who has no alibi for that time period and planned this crime out in advance. That person's the real killer.
I wonder who it could be.
Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, what is it? Miss Yu's asking for you. She's in the courtroom. She said she's identified the murderer and wants to clarify something.
Looks like Miss Yu's still investigating something.
Understood. Please tell her I'll be right over. I'll come along. I want to hear what she has to say. It would appear the time has come to uncover the truth.
Looks like we're getting about ready to wrap this up.
Kay, what are you doing here?
Hello, mister. I'm still investigating.
But the object you're looking for has already... Kay, don't mind him. Please continue with your investigation.
Okay, you got it.
Detective Bad, haven't we already found what you were looking for? If it means I can keep her in the dark just a little longer, any little task will do.
Oh? You're more sympathetic than I thought. I've been waiting for you, Edgeworth.
I've also been waiting for the moment we can finally lay this case to rest.
The moment we can finally lay this case to rest? Wasn't that when we placed Detective Gumshoe under arrest? I think we've done more than solve this case already. Don't you? You see, it all depends on whether or not your logic holds. Oh, I see we have a viewer in the gallery. Why, Mr. Bad TV here. A viewer in the gallery? I'm hardly just a bystander.
I have a duty to see this case through to the end, no matter how it turns out.
Oh, is that right? Anyway, I thought you might like to hear what I've slaved away to find out. I've taken statements on every single person's movements during the time when our suspect was in the hallway. I also confirmed that there is no possible route of escape from lobby number 2. Therefore, the killer must be without a doubt be Detective Gumshoe.
And that's all you have?
Yeah, that is all there is to my conclusion and this case.
Sorry, but I beg to differ. In a trial, there's always time for a rebuttal, and we are standing in a court of law. It'd be more than appropriate to follow the rules of the court in this case, don't you think?
How absolutely like a rookie to think such a thing! But alright, I'll play along and give you proper testimony.
If my logic's correct, then I've already won. All I have to do now is prove it by showing who the real killer is.
Everyone says the suspect has an alibi for when the gun went off. Furthermore, the areas around the crime scene have all been thoroughly investigated, right? I also confirm there's no possible escape route from lobby number 2. Which leaves us with one unshakable conclusion: that Detective Gumshoe's the killer. Now that you have your testimony, I expect a good rebuttal, Edgeworth.
But of course. There's no need to confront her logic head-on right now. I should instead focus on drawing out any trump card she has up her sleeve.
Hold it!
The suspect? I thought that Detective Gumshoe's alibi has been proven.
Are you joking, Edgeworth?
I assure you this is no joke.
Look, I know you heard from the judge earlier that the detective was in the hallway with Mr. Faraday's daughter, eating a Swiss roll.
That's correct.
See, that was 20 minutes before the real gunshot went off, right? The problem is, there's no one else who can corroborate what he did since the snacking.
I see, she's done her research well. This means I should focus on drawing out whatever trump card she's withholding.
Hold it!
Whether they've been thoroughly investigated or not is for me to decide.
The scrunch eyebrows are lying on your forehead and back. Anyway, even if you believe it hasn't been exhaustive, the crime scene, lobby number 2, has no way out other than the hallway Detective Gumshoe was standing in. And because he claimed to have been there, this makes him the only possible suspect.
Isn't it also possible that someone escaped through a window and into the garden?
That's the first place everyone looked, silly. The police aren't a bunch of lazy bums who looked at every possibility, you know. Isn't that right, Mr. Bad?
Yeah. There weren't a scrap of evidence to suggest someone used one of the windows. There also weren't any footprints or anything in the courtyard garden. I suppose they really did check everything that would be relevant to the case.
Hold it!
Are you absolutely positive there are no possible routes of escape?
Of course I'm sure.
Then why are you so certain?
This is a courthouse, a place where criminals are brought to be judged. If there was an escape route, I'm sure every criminal would be using it to escape. Just common sense. Miles Edgeworth, I suggest you use a bit more of it in the future.
Ugh.
Hold it!
You may think it's unshakable, but to me there are still too many unanswered questions. For example, who was it that placed the gun in Mr. Faraday's hand?
But you're the only one still wondering that. Detective Gumshoe probably had no idea which hand Mr. Faraday used to write with. Even if you know someone, it doesn't mean you'll know which hand they write with, right? I mean, I certainly don't care about that sort of thing.
I was about to get a little rise out of me with such a flippant statement. I suppose we've really reached the end now. I already have my trump card ready. All that remains is to play it. Before I do, I think I should inquire into a little something about her argument. You said earlier you confirmed the alibis of every person other than the suspect. However, I don't recall either Francisco or myself speaking with you about the subject.
But there are witnesses for you. There's your mentor who gave you an alibi.
I see.
As for the little Missy, she came to the courthouse during the recess. Was stopped by a security guard at the door in the hallway. She gave him quite a whipping for that, or so I heard. I'm the daughter of Manfred von Karma, and I will not be forcibly stopped by a guard, or a bailiff, or anything else.
So basically the only reason Francisca bothered to show up today was because she found out I was to be the replacement prosecutor. By the way, Miss Yu, what about everyone's alibis before Detective Gumshoe was assigned to guard duty?
What about them?
Have you looked into what people were doing during that span of time?
What kind of idiot you take me for? Doesn't matter when the killer went into lobby number 2. From the time we heard the gunshot to the time Mr. Badnar arrived on the scene, as we dashed to lobby number 1, the only person who could have committed the crime was Gumshoe.
Yes, let's talk about when you and Detective Bad heard the gunshot, shall we? I suppose that if we go by your logic, Detective Gumshoe is the only one. However, what if the crime had occurred at an entirely different time than when that gunshot you heard went off? What then? The gunshot was a trap meant to manipulate our perception.
Sadly, your explanation's very lacking, Edgeworth. The gunshot we heard in lobby number 1. Care to explain how it could have been fabricated?
Take that!
The tape?
Yes, it's exactly what you think it is. This is the surveillance tape of Mr. Rell the prosecution presented in today's trial. This was found loaded into the video player in lobby number 2. That was connected to the large television that had its volume turned all the way up.
You can't honestly mean that sound we heard was the gunshot from the video.
But I do. Which leads me to my next point. The murders occurred much earlier than when anyone heard the gunshot. That's the only thing I can think of too. After committing double homicide, the killer took the surveillance video up from Mr. Faraday's evidence bag, turned the television's volume all the way up and left the video to play. If played from the beginning, it would take 30 minutes for the gunshot sound to come on. And since we now know that this method of time manipulation is possible, it opens up the possibility the killer is someone other than Detective Gumshoe.
Sounds from a television don't amount to much here. But of course, Mr. Prosecutor Edgeworth and Little Miss Von Karma already knew that much from the very beginning, right? Of course we knew, didn't we, Miles?
Yes, of course. We know about the soundproof quality of the courthouse's rooms. Of course, I was about to admit we only had no idea until a little while ago.
That's right. If the rooms are soundproof, we should not be able to hear it. Yet we heard the gunshot clear as day.
And?
And that's it. End of story.
But it's not. How shall I explain why she was able to hear the gunshot from the soundproof room? There is actually one common point between Lobby 1 and Lobby 2, and that is despite the fact both rooms have air conditioners installed, a window was open in each. Now, we know the window in Lobby 2 was opened by the killer, however, a window in Lobby 1 was also opened.
It's probably just a coincidence they are both open at the time.
It was no mere coincidence, I assure you. Why was the window opened in lobby number 1? The answer to that is a certain person did something to cause the window to be opened. The person who triggered that action, the person is the real guilty party. The real killer in this double murder is...
Take that!
You! I hereby formally indict you of the murder of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell.
What? You indict me? Are you serious, Myers? Why do you think she's the killer?
I don't understand her motive just yet, but of course I'm serious. Because she's the only one who could have done it. Well, Miss Yu, you still feel like laughing now?
Ha 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 ha. Of course I do, Edgeworth.
My argument must not be tight enough yet.
Although I never thought things would spiral into this. But I'll have you know that I'm enjoying this dance quite a bit. I guess this means it's time for my own rebuttal now, right? You argue the window was opened. However, do you have proof it was I who did that? Furthermore, do you have proof the tape was used in committing the crime? Frankly, I'm shocked at you for going around accusing people of murder like this. Especially with logic as full as holes as yours.
And this is where it really starts. I mustn't let my guard down even for a second or the truth will blow away. Now's the time to put the patented Von Karma perfect proof to the test.
Hold it!
Evidence? All I need to do is have some prints analysed and we'd know straight away.
Be my guest.
She sounds as though she has learned to manoeuvre, which means we were able to lift prints that only show it was someone else's, but... Why that's someone else before she opened the window? That's simple logic. But I'm not presenting that piece of evidence, I have nothing to lose.
What's wrong? The scratched eyebrows on your forehead are all back. More importantly, are you going to be okay not running a fingerprint analysis?
Yes, I'll be fine.
Oh, in that case, just continue my testimony, alright?
Objection!
I'm sure you've seen this before, haven't you, Miss Yu?
Edgeworth, I never knew you were into wearing that kind of perfume. It's not exactly what I'd recommend for boys, you know.
This isn't mine!
That's right, it's mine. I received it from Detective Badge, you see.
Miss Yu, you can pretend all you like, but we know at least this much is for sure. You're the one who gave this bottle of perfume to Detective Bad.
And you're that super easy to rile up. So what about the perfume?
While you were in lobby number 1, you made a big show of spilling some of this perfume. That according to Detective Bad...
Oh, I know.
You also knew that if you spilled it, you would naturally move to open the window.
Come now, I already told you that's a big coincidence. After we opened the window in Lobby 1, I just left it open, you know? Maybe it's just dumb luck we heard the gunshot through the window.
The timing of when you were going to spill the perfume is something you could control. And that most important fact about this case is when people were made to hear the shot. Furthermore, it would have been pointless if you didn't have an alibi for yourself at the time. You may. Miss you were the one who called Detective Bad into lobby number 1 when you saw him bring Detective Gumshoe into the hallway. Is that correct? All of today's premeditated events could only have been thought up by you, Miss Yu.
Ha 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 ha. You accuse me of murder on the fact that I spilled a little perfume. Allow me to say this much. I couldn't have killed Mr. Faraday.
Would you care to testify as to why?
Ha 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 ha. Look, I've had fun today, really, but I grow weary of this game of cat and mouse. Let's make this the last testimony and wrap up this absurd case once and for all. Accusing someone of murder over a spilled bottle of perfume is a bit over the top. But I suppose forgery evidence is to be expected of a disciple of Von Karma. In any case, it simply could not have been me who killed Mr. Faraday. After all, I don't even know where the knife was that used to kill him came from. Myers, her testimony's flawless.
Yes, but no matter what sort of trick she may try to pull, she won't escape me. If I'm lacking in information, I'll just draw it out of her.
Hold it!
I think I already explained the significance of that earlier.
You only confirmed I did spill some perfume, but that's all. That you would accuse me of murder based on a simple spill. Don't you dare complain when I sue you for defamation of character.
Do as you like, but as for me, I believe.
You believe?
I believe you are the true culprit of this case.
My, you're enthusiastic. Of course I should have guessed.
Hold it!
I formally request you to desist your attack against my mentor.
Yes, or they'll sue you for defamation. All I'm doing is telling the truth. Or maybe more spreading gossip. Although your adamant denial, or shall we say just adding fuel to the fire.
How dare you!
Say such a thing.
Calm down, little girl. Don't let her get to you.
Oh, why'd you have to ruin my fun? Shall we continue? In any case, it simply could not have been me who killed Mr. Faraday.
And why exactly couldn't you not have killed him?
I'm just about to testify to that. You're such an impatient man. I'm not really into that, you know, Edgeworth.
Oh, your preferences have no bearing on what's at hand.
Feeling a little uncomfortable, are we?
Oh.
Monsieur, you will desist in this tomfoolery and return to your testimony. But Miles, if you're going to lose your cool, I won't show you any mercy.
Sorry. Miss Yu, please continue with your testimony.
Sure. As I was saying, I couldn't possibly have killed Mr. Faraday.
Hold it!
Didn't you, Mo? At this rate, she'll inevitably escape. she's really the one who killed Faraday, she must have known about the existence of the knife. I'm sorry, Miss Yu, maybe you weren't aware. The knife that was used to Mr. Faraday was taken from his evidence bag.
May see if you can do it.
I'm drawing the truth out of her, that's what I'm doing.
But I don't recall a knife being presented at the trial earlier today.
I suppose it's because the evidence was something Mr. Faraday had yet to use.
So that's what you're trying to do. Look, why don't you cut it out with the lies? I've already figured you out. There was no knife inside Mr. Faraday's evidence bag. The only evidence he had yet to present was the key the Yatagarasu had sent. Unless a key can magically turn into a knife, you really don't have a leg to stand on. Funny you should say that. You really think you could trap me? Come now, be honest.
I never intended to do such a thing. It was all a misunderstanding on my part. In any case, I wonder if you might append what you just said to your testimony.
Sure, why not? I'll even say it as many times as you'd like. There was a key in his evidence bag, but you can't kill anyone with a simple key.
Objection!
Ms. Yu, I wonder if you might take a look at this photo for me. This is a picture of the key the Yatagarasu sent the police. However, while it may look like a key at first glance, it is in fact has the secret ability to transform into a knife. Which means that what was inside the Mr. Faraday's bag is both the Yatagarasu's key and the murderous knife. You knew the key was inside Mr. Faraday's bag, did you not?
Yeah?
Well, with the Yatagarasu's key alone, it's more than possible to kill Mr. Faraday. Do you understand now?
Objection!
I still haven't had a good look at it. Showing it to me from that far away, you could be lying for all I know.
You would even now still feign ignorance.
I'm not feigning anything. We can't have you accusing me of a crime with false evidence, can we? I mean, Mr. Von Karma, I heard some very interesting rumours about him. Are you mocking my papa?
Don't you dare sully the good name of my mentor. Now take a good look. This piece of evidence is more than real.
Wow, who knew there was a trick to this thing?
Are you satisfied now? But of course, you knew from the very beginning, didn't you? You knew the knife and the key were one and the same. Otherwise, someone like you who isn't a member of law enforcement, and who would never have been privy to this trick, would have never known about it to begin with. Furthermore, there's something the Yatagarasu sent to the police. How did you have knowledge as to what it was?
I heard it from Mr. Faraday. Just before he dragged Mr. Rell off, he told me. That's right, I almost forgot. He told me the key turned into a knife at that time. He didn't tell me about how the key actually transforms.
What you're saying is simply not possible.
And why not?
Mr. Faraday himself didn't know about the hidden knife within the key. From within these pages, he mentions nothing about a knife.
I'm not sure he would have written everything in his organizer, you know. Wouldn't something of this importance be better left to oral communication?
Unfortunately, that's also impossible because Detective Bad didn't know about the knife aspect either. What would have been highly classified information even within the police force, and is something that even the lead detective on the case didn't know, why would Mr. Faraday have felt the need to share such information with the opposition?
I guess he wouldn't have had much of a reason to. Looks like I gave a pretty lame excuse here.
How can you laugh at a time like this?
She's probably just has a flaw in her logic and is actually in a panic over it. But that's not something we need to concern ourselves with.
I suppose you're right. Ms. Yu, I'd like to state you also know about how the real nature of this knife.
Do you now? Why don't you just put your money where your mouth is and show me?
Oh, I will, and I'll wipe that smile off your face by the time we're through. This is it, the moment of truth. The secret behind Yatagarasu's key. Only one person would have knowledge of it from the get-go. Who would know from the start that Yatagarasu's key could change into a knife?
Take that!
There's only one person who would have known about the dual nature of the key.
And that is?
The person who sent the Yatagarasu key to the police. That is to say, the Yatagarasu herself. Wait, what?
Are you saying this light is the great thief Yatagarasu?
Oh my god, I got red herringed. Bravo. Bravo. Ms. Yu, you used Mr. Rail to lure Mr. Faraday into a trap, didn't you? You who profess to bear a grudge against criminals. Why would you do something like this?
Who would have thought that you, a stupid rookie prosecutor, would see through me? You're sending the biggest chill down my spine right now, Edgeworth. The feeling of thrill is even greater than when I sneak into some place.
You killed Faraday? Why? Answer me, Callisto, you.
Callisto Yu, huh? That's not my real name. My real identity is the great thief Yatagarasu. Let me tell you something, Edgeworth. Mr. Faraday was one difficult man to deal with. For you see, he discovered my true identity, which is why I had to erase him from the world of law. I made Rel an offer, an acquittal for a little favour in return. All he had to do was accuse Mr. Faraday of being the Yatagarasu in court. But once we entered the recess, Rel was dragged off by Faraday, which threw my plan into a complete mess. I chased after them, eavesdropped on them through a crack in the door. That Rel caves to only two things, money and authority, just as all fucks do. I feared my plan was going to be ruined if Faraday held on to Rel any longer. Plus, if I let them continue on the way they were, they would have been found out. That's why I had no choice. I had to kill them both.
Did you say you despise criminals?
But do I really?
You. Have you forgotten about the KGA incident too?
Maybe. What sort of woman would?
So then, was it your plan to kill Mr. Faraday with every evidence that you sent?
I had a good idea of what Mr. Faraday was going to do. I anticipated that Mr. Faraday was going to prove that Rel wasn't the Yatagarasu by using this Yatagarasu key as evidence that he would bring with him. Which is why I thought to use the knife portion. With a weapon as well disguised as this, no one would be the wiser. Because who in their right mind would think something like this could be a weapon? I casually entered Lobby 2 on the pretext that I had to talk with Faraday. Then in order to get in with him, I pretended to be worried about something. He then let me hold the Yatagarasu key just like that. He never noticed I changed the key into a knife inside the plastic bag. and he didn't have the chance to take note of the knife that took his life.
How could you kill him?
I knew him for a long time, you know. At the very least, I fought to give him a quick and painless death.
But if you killed Faraday first, there was no need for you to kill Mr. Rell as well.
I believe I mentioned why we were placing Detective Gumshoe under arrest. Something about having accidentally created an eyewitness. How that led the killer to think about setting them up as though they killed each other.
Then the trick with the surveillance tape.
Yeah, I hadn't actually planned to use a gun. The risk was too high I'd be caught. However, that's when I remembered the existence of the surveillance tape, which is why I had Rell help me set up the crime scene. After all was said and done, I reward him for his hard work with a bullet.
You're a defense attorney, aren't you? How could you? How could you betray a client?
Client? If you want to talk about who was a client of whose first, it was me. I was the client in the murder of the Codopin Embassy staff member, Dead Man.
You ordered a hit job?
You still haven't figured it out, Mr. Bad. I had Dead Man killed because he was about to give away info about the smuggling ring. Now who exactly do you think would benefit from such an assassination?
It can't be. You're...
That's right. I'm a member of the smuggling ring.
How could this... You don't mean you're working with Manny Cochin too, do you?
Maybe, maybe not. Guess you'll never know.
Yatagarasu claims to be noble, but you're just another cold-blooded murderer!
That's right, little girl. The Yatagarasu's just another killer.
Be quiet, you. Yatagarasu, you can run from the law, but you'll never escape it. So just humbly accept the judgment of this court.
Hey, Edgeworth. Did you know the Yatagarasu has 3 legs? Do you know why that is? No, let me tell you. It means the Yatagarasu has more than one razor-sharp way to do her work.
Oh shit.
You really are too naive, Edgeworth. You even handed the Yatagarasu's key right to me without a second thought. Everything may not have gone according to plan, but I still gladly take it.
You mean the key was your real target?
And even after I gave you such great advice, didn't I tell you to always keep a good eye on a criminal? Or you may regret what comes of your negligence.
You two, get down! My body, I can't move.
Mister, to your right!
You! Are you alright, Franziska?
I'm perfectly fine, Miles.
Her voice is shaking, but it looks like she's unharmed. Where did Kay go? That's a gunshot. Sorry, looks like she got away. I called the precinct. They should have a perimeter set up soon. Detective Bad, are you alright? I heard a gunshot. I'm okay. Just got another hole in the jacket. You may say he's fine, but he looks shaken. More importantly, boy, I mean, Mr. Edgeworth, Miss Montcalmer, are you two hurt?
I'm absolutely fine.
I'm also alright. thanks to Kay. Speaking of Kay, where is she? I don't know, she just sort of disappeared. I'll go look for her. Oh, and, hey, Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir? Detective Bad, sir? Oh, I'm sorry I doubted you.
Don't worry, sir. It's not your fault.
Well, I liked you guys too, after all. I heard about what happened from Kay. Lying while giving testimony is still unforgivable. But in this case, you were protecting Kay and her feelings. Looks like you might just have what it takes to be a real detective. Now don't ever lose that detective spirit, alright?
You got it, Pops.
Pops? Thought you wanted to make Detective Diamonds recently, have we?
We just single-handedly destroyed the chilly atmosphere with one snarky comment. I should get back to the investigation. I swear, I'll catch you if it's the last thing I do. Be careful, Detective Bad, and take care. Thanks. Well, I'm off. Maybe we'll run into each other again someday.
Thanks a bunch, pal. You're the best. You really did find the truth out behind everything.
Yes, well, I'm glad we solved everything before you were taken to prison. I can't believe how much trouble I caused you with my testimony, Detective Gumshoe.
It was no problem, really. I mean, I lied to, so I didn't help anything. It's really not your fault, Your Honour.
Well, even if we didn't have his Honour's testimony, I still think the lawyer would have found another way to get you convicted on her behalf.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm about to get fired during my first week as a detective.
So long as you're not fired, you should work hard, give it all you have, and perform your duties well. And one more thing. Kay left a present for you with me.
She did? Oh, what is it?
What was it that Kay left for me? The proof of their French. Whoops.
Take that!
It's a caught out special Swiss roll. Can I really have it?
Yes, it was a present meant for you after all.
Thanks a bunch. You have no idea how happy this makes me, pal. I'm gonna eat this right now.
Sure, go ahead. The Swiss rolls Detective Gumshoe and Kay bought together. While the one Kay saved never reached her father, it would appear her sentiments have touched the heart of this detective.
He's so happy. It's as though he's having a welcome back celebration of his own.
Well, I was asked by Kay to give it to him.
Oh, that was good, pal. Can't believe I got to eat two of these delicious things in one day. It's like I'm in Swiss roll paradise or something. I've got to thank Kay myself. Wait, where is she?
You only noticed just now, was it mine not present when we discussed her earlier? Detective Bad left to go search for her earlier. Maybe you should go join him.
Yeah, you betcha, pal. I'm gonna go help him. Oh, but first... You know what, pal? I guess I shouldn't be so rude to you anymore, huh? I'm gonna stick right by your side from now on, Mr. Edgeworth, sir.
I sense nothing but a most troublesome relationship from that anonymous statement.
We should go home too, Myers. We have to hurry and report what happened to Papa.
Agreed. I'm afraid we must be going now, Detective.
Roger, sir. Don't you worry. I'll investigate the next case we're on real well.
I'll, be counting on you. The scent of trouble's definitely in the air. Thus, like a bad dream, my first outing at court came to a disturbing end. A few months later, I was finally able to properly stand in court as a prosecutor. but the detective in charge of the investigation was, as I dreaded, Detective Gumshoe. After that, he became my direct subordinate. I have tried, but words fail to describe the immeasurable suffering he's caused me. But I suppose it's just how things are. As for the little girl who suddenly disappeared, she's now...
So you remember now?
Yes, I remember everything. Kay, it's been a while.
Kay, you sure grew up a lot. Of course, but thank goodness, I thought you two had badly forgotten about me.
You know, I was really worried about you after all that. Where you been all this time?
Gummy, I didn't know you cared. After my father died, I went to go live with my mother's relatives. They lived really far away, so I wasn't really able to come back all that much.
Oh, is that what happened? Well, I'm just glad you're alright.
So does it all make sense now?
You betcha it does.
Oh, you know what? I was going through my father's bookshelves recently and...
Hold it!
Actually, there's still a number of things that don't make sense, Kay.
Eh?
First of all, why'd you come all this way to see me? And second, why are you calling yourself the Yatagarasu? The Yatagarasu is Callisto Yu, the woman who killed your father.
No, you're wrong. The real Yatagarasu was my father.
Oh, well, fuck me then, right? I guess it wasn't a red herring after all. Mr. Faraday was the Yatagarasu?
Like I said, I was going through my father's bookshelf recently and found a secret diary hidden among his books. I have no regrets in choosing to walk the path of the Yatagarasu. That was written in his diary, and that's how I know for sure.
But that's impossible.
What's with that look? You don't believe me?
It wasn't just the expression on my face. I clearly said it was impossible just now.
Alright then, how'd you explain this?
It's a way of disarming any security system of the user's choosing.
Yep, that's Little Thief. Truth be told, this is the Yatagarasu's greatest secret. And this little gizmo was used by my father.
Wow! Mr. Faraday weren't just a great prosecutor, he was a really great thief, huh?
My father worked really hard to steal the truth. But he was killed, and the Yatagarasu was no more. But despite that, the Yatagarasu has been spotted again recently.
Someone other than you?
Here, Mr. Edgeworth, take a look at this article.
Uh-oh.
The Yatagarasu sent the embassy a calling card?
Me, this person's a fake. I'm almost certain that Callisto Yu lady's behind this. Because the real Yatagarasu would never send something like this gaudy card out.
But the Yatagarasu did send a white card along with anything to be publicised. That is what Detective Bad told me 7 years ago, if memory serves.
Well, as you heard in the news, I got all wound up and I knew I couldn't just let it go. So I searched you out so I could obtain the truth behind the Yatagarasu. Because if anyone can help me find it, I figured it's you, Mr. Edgeworth.
So you're saying I have your father's and misused identities backwards?
Yes, because the real Yatagarasu is noble to the end. And I want to revive the real, noble Yatagarasu. If I don't, my father will never be able to rest in peace.
Kay.
Kay, you're so honourable. I don't care what anyone else thinks, I'll always be here to cheer you on, pal.
Even if you're honourable, a thief is still a thief. If you're plotting to commit a crime, I'm afraid I can't be complicit.
Mr. Edgeworth? Oh, you guys aren't making this easy for me. Who am I supposed to support now?
Mr. Edgeworth, what I want from you is not to steal something. What I want is the arrest of that eel woman.
That evil woman? You mean Callisto you?
I think it's too hard for me to capture her by myself. But I thought since you're able to expose her for who she is, then maybe... Please, Mr. Edgeworth, won't you help me?
Come to think of it, I do believe I owe you.
Huh? Owe me for what?
When Ms. Yu made her escape, it was you who saved my life. Furthermore, you helped me with the investigation today. I'm not so rude as to leave favors unrepaid.
Then you mean...
Yes. That case has been weighing down my soul ever since that fateful day. Perhaps the time has come to settle things once and for all. If you don't intend to sully your hands in a crime, I believe I can help you.
Mr. Edgeworth, thank you.
Yay, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Isn't it great, Kay?
Yeah, it sure is, Gummy.
Even though we had completely forgotten about her until just now. Oh, what is with their chummy relationship? The great thief Yatagarasu. After all that time, the true identity of the thief sank back into the darkness. Byrne Faraday, Callisto Yu, and Kay Faraday. The phantasmagorically changing identity of the great thief Yatagarasu. And the Yatagarasu's real girl would all come to light the day after I made that promise to Kay.